What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we the people choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
You want healthy children. Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
Come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Angelenos, we're still going through it, and to any of you and all of you that have experienced a loss, the grief, the anger, the just utter shock, I've seen the devastation. It is unbelievable the amount of loss that people have experienced. But we have to get through this crisis, and I know that we will. I was at the Sylmar command post today, and I saw the work of our first responders and how they've been able to defeat the fires in certain areas. We know we still have much more to go, and we know the winds are going to kick up again. But we got to stick together. We got to stand strong. And then we have to rebuild our city. We're the nation's second largest city, one of the greatest cities in the world. And we stay together, and we will rebuild an amazing city. So thank you, Angelenos, and my thoughts and prayers are out to all of you that are going through unbelievable loss and pain today. We will get through this. Thank you.
This is your house?
This is my house. This one right here. We moved in 26 years ago. And we did the floors, and we put in windows and doors and painted and just put, my grandchildren loved it. My son and my daughter and my family, we hosted Christmas Eve and Christmas Day here, and everybody was here. My little house that I loved. My husband just had his 4th cancer surgery. I poured everything into it. My nephew.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
I really am. I don't even know what to say.
It's okay. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just. We haven't been sleeping. We haven't slept. We're staying at a hotel. We have nowhere to go. We don't know what we're doing. We were close neighbors. Buzz and Todd. His mom passed away and they took over the house. John just lost his wife that he adored, but was taking care of that house. She was a Superior Court judge, and Beverly and John, so much love. She was so incredible, and the house is gone.
I just can't believe they're all gone.
They're all gone. See, Debbie and us and Tina Our children went to school together from kindergarten. Our kids are in their 47 years old. And Debbie's 47-year-old son tragically passed away last August. Her oldest child. Her grief is so deep, I can't imagine.
And with these...
It kind of tugs at your heart, doesn't it? Kind of just... I don't even know this lady, and I feel so bad for her. I can't even imagine what she must be going through, what she must be experiencing. I love the way that piece was, because you could see she was completely disheveled, and she was talking about her neighbors, and she talked about the guy across the street who has had 4 cancer, or her husband who had 4 cancer surgeries. The guy across the street just lost his wife. He adored her. She was a judge, and she was putting not really faces, but people behind these burned out buildings. And I just wonder, as I've been watching, as you've been watching over the last, 5 or 6 days, have these people had enough? Have these people finally reached the end and realized that California is not California dreaming? This is indeed a California nightmare. And over the next hour and a half or so, I'm going to show you some things. And I really want you to dig in here and begin putting yourself, and as I've been saying, using the opportunity that you now have, because these people have nobody. Like she said, I'm staying at a hotel. We got nothing. I don't care how much money she had living in where that was Palisades or Malibu. She woke up and they got nothing. And worse than that, the people that you depend upon, the people that you lean on, that you expect to be there, weren't there. From the local all the way to the state level, the people did not respond, whose only job it is to respond, to protect and serve. And of course, now that we're getting into the, triage stage, even though it's still burning, you've got the media out here blaming Trump. You've got congressmen out here blaming Trump. Trump has nothing to do with California. Trump isn't even the president as of today. And that must tell you right there how bad this really must be. That the scapegoat that they need to try and use at this point is Trump and Elon. The two people who are going to be responsible most likely for fixing this crap, you're starting to blame right now. And I know why. I know exactly why they're starting to try and put pressure on Trump. I'm going to show you that in a minute. In addition, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like 3 segments today. I'm going to talk to you also about some of these residents and people from California, or people who know people in California, libs who have finally had it. And then we're going to talk about this insane riff between Steve Bannon and Elon Musk, which I'm telling you right now, I may say some things that may cause some of you to unsubscribe, but I'm going to say it. I've done nothing over the last year or so talking about Trump. I've always spoke my mind. And I'm going to say some things that I really think about Steve Bannon at this point, and it may piss some of you off. Hopefully, it'll make you think as well. But first, let me give you an example of the sheer idiocy of the media and what they're how they're trying to portray this California thing as if Trump and Elon are the culprits.
Fire still burning, we are facing important questions about how to mitigate and prevent disasters like this in the future. Fact is, leaders will need to confront a very complicated and challenging reality moving forward. But right now, that is not exactly what is happening. Instead, Donald Trump and his allies are injecting half-truths, misinformation, and flat-out lies in some cases.
We're going to have to do something, but right now what's wrong is Trump and Elon are doing half-truths and lies. And I'm sorry for interrupting so quickly, but as you begin to watch this idiot, the other thing that must go through your mind is, What kind of morons listen to the crap that she's about to spew? Because it would take literally no time to go in and find stuff to tell you she's full of crap. The initial piece of this tonight that I started with was Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, sounding like, everything's fine, it's going to be great, and dandelions and unicorns. The same mayor who couldn't say a word when she didn't have a teleprompter or someone's hand up her rear end telling her what to say. She couldn't respond off the cuff. She just took her head down. Remember, I showed you the video. She kept running from people. So if you're in Los Angeles or in California, understand, you saw the real mayor. The real mayor has nothing to say. The person you see at the podium in that video you just saw was someone who has been taught, coached, given a script. Hey, get your ass out there, go read this. Now let's go ahead and use the media to cover for your lame ass.
In order to score a version of political points, I suppose. We saw something similar play out just this past October in the aftermath of Hurricanes Helene and Milton, when Trump repeatedly lied about FEMA spending disaster relief funds on migrants, which didn't happen. Also baselessly claiming that the Biden administration was absent and incompetent in delivering aid, despite what elected officials of both parties on the ground said.
Notice what she just said. Notice what she said, despite what elected officials from both parties on the ground said. Funny. I don't give a shit what the elected officials said. I talk to people. Many of you have talked to people. Many of us still talk to people. Many of us saw specifically firsthand how the government dropped the ball. She doesn't want you to know that. She just leaned in and said, the elected officials said everything was a lie. Well, you're a reporter, Jen. How about you go to Western North Carolina and talk to the people? Not some elected official that you can call from your comfy Washington office and use them to substantiate a bullcrap piece on MSNBC. Why not talk to the actual people? Because those people will tell you what they really experienced. How about calling Samaritan's Purse? I firsthand know one of Robin's relatives whose house got just trashed. Nobody from FEMA showed up. Samaritan's Purse went to this person's house within like 2 days and helped start putting their roof back on. We don't need the media. You are the media. I am the media. I am telling you what actually happened on the ground up in Asheville. I have relatives-in-law who actually went through this stuff, who actually could not get a hold of FEMA. There are tens of thousands of people up there if she chose to get off her duff and go talk to these people up in Western North Carolina. There's a guy you might want to follow. Let me see if I can find this here. This guy has been putting out some serious content over and over and over. His name is Matt Van Swal. And where is he from? He's the former nuclear scientist, Department of Energy. And he's been up there just covering this entire debacle. A lot different than Jen Psaki says. If you're wondering why on earth there are still today, this was as January 12th, 5,600 families living out of hotels right now in Western North Carolina. It's because FEMA has only delivered, you won't believe this number, 93 temporary homes to all of Western North Carolina. And like he says, read that again, 93 homes. That's it. That's all that FEMA has brought to North Carolina. So Jen Psaki, you're lying to your audience, and if your audience had any idea what the hell is going on, if they had fingers that actually work, they could really find out pretty quickly. I mean, how quickly is it? If you had any idea, let's say you don't know who Matt Von Swole is, you could basically just click that hashtag of hashtag WNC, and you go through a whole litany of posts that this guy and other. Fox News absolutely stepped up this weekend to cover victims of Helene in western North Carolina who were hours away from getting kicked out of hotels by FEMA into the snow. Oh, you didn't want to hear about that, did you, Jen? That these people still are living in the snow in tents and temporary housing. But Donald Trump's the problem, right? Donald Trump is just making this stuff up, right? Well, why don't you ask these tens of thousands of people, these 5,600 families who are enduring the elements because FEMA didn't answer the bell. But let's let her continue with her vomitorium.
Those lies were then spread and amplified by the richest man in the world on the social media site that he owns. So I guess none of us should have been shocked this week when Elon Musk posted that the Los Angeles Fire Department prioritized DEI over saving lives and homes. That's an exact quote. That appeared to be a disgusting dig at the city's fire chief, Kristen Crowley, who is...
Oh, really? A disgusting dig. It couldn't possibly be true. Except for the fact that it is. You see, Jen, we've done our homework. We've gone through, we've pulled the videos, I've shown some of them. Maybe your audience is so ignorant they have no clue. But we're going to show some of that, Jen, so continue with your vomitorium.
In the department for decades, rising through the ranks to become the first female and LGBTQ fire chief in LA's history. And so now we're back in this vicious cycle, where Trump and his new bestie push lies about a natural disaster, and then right-wing media runs with them.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
That's specifically when somebody calls 911? You moron? Whatever you are? You're in the wrong place if you're stuck and I need to come carry your ass out. Really? Hey, Jen, I thought it wasn't about DEI. I thought it was about the best person, a meritocracy. You just said that Trump and Elon are making it up. This stuff is all over the place. They hired someone who says, hey, don't expect me to carry you out of a fire. If you're stuck, you shouldn't have been there. And I'm pretty sure nobody who dials 911 says, excuse me, number one, the persons you're sending, they look like me? I'm sorry, sir. I have no idea what the hell you look like. I have no... Well, I'm about 6'2", 300 pound, sort of black. People call me black, but I'm kind of like tan. Sorry, sir. We don't have anybody that looks like you. I guess I'm shit out of luck then, aren't I? Said nobody ever.
I'm super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I said, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 30...
Jen Psaki must have missed that. Jen Psaki, when you were doing your report, when all of California was burning down, and you were worried about Elon and Donald, and you said they made it up, it came out of her mouth. My priority is to get as many, LGBTQISSIPPI people as possible. How many is enough? There's never enough. Oh, I'm sorry. Jen Psaki just told me it was all made up, that you were actually, putting safety first. Because I didn't hear you say, I want people who are the best firefighters. You said your priority is never enough. We can't find enough of the LGBTQ people. Jen Psaki somehow must have missed that, and her entire audience will never see it because she'll never play it. They're reaching. The last bastion of everything is falling apart for the liberals. This may be it for them. People are catching them in lies. I had posted this. This was from Molly Hemingway a few days ago. Amid the Palisades fire, Los Angeles' first LGBTQ plus fire chief and I didn't say this, don't get pissed at me. This is from Pride magazine. Lesbians are getting it done. I told you about this a couple days ago. And this is the picture they chose to show. The fire chief, the flags, and stuff burning down. Somehow Jen Psaki didn't have this information. Why am I more informed than Jen Psaki? Kind of interesting, isn't it? How a national news show couldn't find this stuff? I wonder if Jen saw this. Meet the people in charge of LA's fire response. All of them. Not one, not two. All of them are lesbians. And what's even funnier, they're all named the same. What are the odds that you could find 3 lesbians with the same name in charge of the city's response to fire? Christina Crowley, the fire chief who makes $439,000 per year. Christine Kepner, who couldn't carry a man out of a burning building, she makes $265,000 a year. Christina Larson, the first black lesbian equity bureau chief, whatever the hell that means, and her salary is $399,000. Funny. Doesn't say there, Jen Psaki, that they're prioritizing the best of the best of the best, as Will Smith said in Men in Black. It looks like they're prioritizing lesbians named Kristen. How did you miss that? And the reason why I'm talking about it, because I don't want anyone else to miss this travesty. I'm not passing judgment on who they sleep with, where they sleep, or anything else. I'm passing judgment on the fact that this city, state, etc., has not prioritized the superior protection of its residents. Of all of its residents. Poor, rich, in the middle, black, white, Hispanic, whatever. You have prioritized the wrong things. And now you've got MSNBC out there lying about it. Absolutely lying about it. And then we get this woman who's not named Kristen, but nonetheless, the LA water chief, the water who there's no hydrants, is paid $750,000 a year. What attracted me most to the role was social equity. It's important for me that everything we do is with an equity lens. And social justice and righting the wrongs that we've done in the past. Who the hell is we? So once again, Jan, they say it. Trump didn't say it. Elon didn't say it. They said it. It's in her speech there. What attracted me the most was the role of social equity. I'm sorry, I thought you were there to protect and serve the people. I thought you were there to make sure that the people were taken care of. I didn't know that, the objective of the person in charge of the water for Los Angeles, who's getting paid $750,000 a year, that her priority was social equity. It has failed on an epic scale, and no one is to blame but the people in the local and state government that let it happen. Absolutely. Let's continue with the chief.
300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose, attracting the best and brightest for the job.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
The chief also checks another box when it comes to inclusivity and diversity at this department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, wow, I didn't even know that was an opportunity for me. I want to be very, very clear. Yes, we took a $17 million budget cut. And as we know, any budget cut would negatively impact our ability to carry out our mission. I want to also clarify that I'm not a politician. I'm a public servant. It's my job as the fire chief for the Los Angeles City Fire Department to make sure that our firefighters have exactly what they need to do their jobs. And that's why I'm talking to you today. The Palisades fire, everybody's seen it. It is absolutely one of the most horrific natural disasters in the history of Los Angeles. And even with an additional 100 engines, I tell you, we were not going to catch that fire. But with that being said, let me be clear. The $17 million budget cut and the elimination of our civilian positions like our mechanics did and has and will continue to severely impact our ability to repair our apparatus. So with that...
So when the shit started hitting the fan, she's like, I'm not going down on this. I may be the first LGBTQ and everything else, but you're not putting this on me. It ain't gonna happen. It's the mayor's fault. And so what we're starting to see, if you guys have seen The Wizard of Oz, which I'm sure you have, when The Wizard of Oz and Dorothy meets up with him, she asks which way to go to, Emerald City, and he goes this way. Or this way. Because right now, they're all cornered rats. Newsom, Bass, the fire chief, the DEI hires of the water department, they're all just like, hey, and the reason being is DEI has no place in government, period. What you are seeing right now is that push comes to shove. If you don't have the best hitters in the lineup, you are going to strike out a lot. You are not going to be able to perform because they are not there to perform. But guess what? Guess who's, making the money out there? You're going to love this one. You won't believe this. Jen Psaki, you missed this too, didn't you? Gavin Newsom's wife, Jennifer Siebel Newsom, runs the most corrupt scam on earth. She has a nonprofit that pays her $250,000 a year. Get this. To provide DEI materials for California school kids. And guess who controls a school budget that pays her $250,000? Nah, Gavin Newsom. This is getting really deep, really bad, really fast, and people like you and me are digging and finding this information. It is just one incestuous web of money grifting that these people have been doing for years at the expense of the people they're supposed to protect and serve. And they've been protected by the media. This isn't like something new. This is one of the worst fires, but it's been going on for quite some time. And I told you some staggering salaries. His wife, Newsom's wife, gets paid $250,000 a year to provide DEI materials for California school kids. So they're making up positions and naming stuff, the Los Angeles Water Department Chief of Equity, and paying them exorbitant amount of money that they're taxing people to do it with. And none of them have any competency. I don't know how this isn't criminal. I don't know how, if I lived in Los Angeles and my house burnt down, there'd be some hell to pay. I mean, at this point, everybody's getting sued. You can count on that. You can count on people hiring the best of the attorneys. There won't be any DEI attorneys. I guarantee you that. But I don't know how they're going to fare with DEI judges. This is getting so bad that it may be the scam of the century. In addition, it's the second highest scam because all the shit that happened with Zelensky is probably number one. California, this is probably number two. The only reason why California could be bigger is because it's been going on for quite some time. Who knows how long this has been going on? They've been able to basically manufacture this because of the funniness with the elections out there. And so they've been able to keep the scam going and going. And now it's falling apart in front of their eyes. And the reason being is the same guy that they're all blaming right now, they're going to have to go see. Let's continue.
We have over 100 fire apparatus out of service. And having these apparatus in the proper amount of mechanics would have helped. And so it did absolutely negatively impact. I want to also be clear that I have, over the last 3 years, been clear that the fire department needs help. We can no longer sustain where we are. We do not have enough firefighters. With that, I have also requested multiple budgets, interim budgets, to show how understaffed, under-resourced, and underfunded the LEFD is. So with that, also, we have clear...
Do you want to guess what the firefighting budget is in Los Angeles that they're underfunded to? The firefighting budget in Los Angeles is $800 million per year. Let me say that again. Nearly $1 billion, $750 million is the budget for the fire department. It's firefighting, whatever. $800 million. How can that not be enough?
Data that shows the LEFD needs more help. We need 62 more fire stations. These reports also show that we've had a 55% increase in overall call volume since 2010. And guess what? We're doing it with less firefighters. I was also directed to develop a plan as part of a budget reduction exercise.
Look at Jake Tapper's face. He's not happy he's having to report this. He always looks like he's sitting on a pine cone or something.
And that could equate to $48.8 million. And I rang the bell that these additional cuts could be very, very devastating for our ability to provide public safety. That would have resulted to 15 fire stations closing down and potentially the elimination of over 300 firefighters. Again, I want to be clear that I submitted a very large budget that will actually allow our firefighters to do their jobs. And I tell you,
news we brought you.
So this woman has decided she's not going down for this. And so what happened was the Daily Mail came out with a story and said she was fired. And then right after that, I guess they figured that was going to be a bad PR move. They came back out on CNN and said, no, we didn't fire her.
At the top of the hour, there was a meeting behind closed doors a short time ago between the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, and the LA fire chief, Kristen Crowley. The two have been publicly contradicting each other on whether or not budget cuts had hindered the LA Fire Department's ability to respond to these wildfires that are burning tonight. Chief Crowley had been blunt, including in an interview on CNN here earlier, saying that her warnings about those budget cuts and how they were affecting her department had been ignored. But the mayor's office is denying an online report tonight that she had fired Crowley, her office telling CNN, quote, "This is false."
You call it powered by...
So the rats are scurrying. Right now, I would almost guarantee you that people are lawyering up, trying to find out who their allies are, because they're going to have to get federal help here. There's no choice that they're going to have to ask the federal government for help. And looking at my calendar, in 8 days, that federal person is Donald Trump. And I guarantee you, with as much as I have followed this man, that when the request comes to Donald Trump, there are going to be codicils. There are going to be caveats. It may even require a federal, czar to go in and take over California. There is no way these people are going to get a blank check to just do what they want in California. Not from the federal government. It ain't happening. And so I think they're starting to realize that. This is the DEI, what's her title thingy here? I'm going to show you this particular video. She's the LA water chief who gets paid $750,000 a year. So let's listen to the water chief.
Equity, and I know that it's been really important for the DWP to put an equity lens on everything.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the number one thing that attracted me to this role. Coming from the communities that I come, seeing what I've seen through my career in utilities and through the military. I've been in the Coast Guard 19 and a half years now, so I got 6 more months to qualify for my 20 years, which was my original goal.
Wow.
Oh, wait. So you got a government pension coming your way. Yeah, you've earned it if you've been in the Coast Guard for 19 years. And now you're fleecing the city of Los Angeles for another $750,000 a year. Great money.
Congratulations, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. It's important to me that everything we do, it's with an equity lens and social justice and making sure that we right the wrongs that we've done in the past from an infrastructure perspective, and that we involve the community in that process. And this utility is serious about it, is authentic about it. And so I'm just super excited to be part of that movement.
What is the situation?
No way. If Trump I can't even fathom it. There's no way Trump writes him a blank check and says, yeah, go fix California. Ain't gonna happen. It is not going to happen. I don't know who the czar of California will be, but there is about to be a California czar. About January 21st, Trump probably already knows who his California czar is going to be, because there is no possible way we can let these people have the keys to the bank anymore. It's over. It's done. I mean, the very same person that, they're complaining about, Elon Musk, is the same person they have to lean on. We're going to position Cybertrucks with Starlinks and free Wi-Fi in a grid pattern in the areas most needed in the greater LA Malibu area. And he's taking these Cybertrucks from people who have bought Cybertrucks, and he's not delivering the Cybertrucks so that he can use these Cybertrucks and deploy them through LA. And you got people like Jen Psaki bitching about him. The only way these people are going to be able to communicate, because everything's burned up, is by Starlink and through his satellites. And he's shipping out a grid of Cybertrucks so that people can communicate. And you're bitching about him on MSNBC. You should just shut up. You should actually delete that entire segment that you did. Oh, my goodness. Now, here's where it gets really fun. You heard this one before, too.
With the water, obviously, in Palisades, ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter on this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, just when you have a system that's not dissimilar to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe 1 fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's going to be determined by the local.
We have watched. So, if I can see these videos and the videos I've shown you thus far, you can bet your butt Donald Trump has seen them, or other people in his camp have seen these videos, probably Elon Musk, and have said, no, there's no chance. This is just complete ineptitude. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow, because one of the things I've been saying is I don't know if it's incompetence or intentionality. I'm leaning to the intentionality side of things. I almost believe that, not that they wanted people's houses to burn down, but the intentional part of this was to basically use DEI and the cloud of DEI to line their pockets. It's even more sinister. It was a get rich quick for a long time scheme. And now it's starting to crumble all around them. And Gavin Newsom just issued an executive order that will allow victims of the Southern Californians not to get up in bureaucratic red tape and quickly rebuild their homes. We're also extending key price gouging protections to help make rebuilding more affordable. Read that part again. So they don't get caught up in bureaucratic red tape. So what Adam Carolla said, and what everyone's been saying about the environmental part that's going to be the problem with people rebuilding because of the Green New Deal and what it, so you're admitting to the world that all of that stuff, all of that stuff is bureaucratic red tape. Let me translate that to you. It's bull stuff. It is not needed. You're going to go ahead and basically waive it, suspend it, do whatever you need to do, because people are going to be pissed off if they can't rebuild. And right now the Democrats are realizing, oh, we've been found out that we're doing nothing but bureaucratic red tape. That's a nice euphemism for a Green New Scam. If it was so important to make sure that this stuff was done, why is it not going to be important when the people rebuild? Hey, just go ahead and rebuild. Do whatever you need to do. Sorry, our bureaucratic red tape would get in the way normally. Really? How about Jen Psaki told me it wasn't about the fish. It wasn't about the deer and the rabbits and, whatever, turtles. And now all of a sudden, all bets off. Do what you need to do. We don't want to get in your way anymore. Your house is burned down. You're all going to be pissed off if we keep up with the so-called bureaucratic red tape. His words, not mine. Bureaucratic red tape. Now all of a sudden, the Green New Deal BS environmental crap is nothing more than bureaucratic red tape. Man, if I was a lawyer and I got a hold of some people in California as clients and we did a class action suit, I'm getting paid. I am so getting paid. You just admitted to everybody these things were never needed, and at any time I could suspend them and go, hey, we don't do what you need to do. You need some plastic? Here's some plastic. Do what hey, what? Whoa, yeah. Here's some more of this stuff. Hey, you want some Chinese drywall? Do whatever you need to do. Just don't get pissed off. Read it, understand it, let people know. They've been scammed in California for decades, all just to enrich each other. There's no other way you can twist that. Down here we have what's called, and I mentioned this before, the Miami-Dade building codes. They don't care what you have to do, who you are, how much money you have, whether you're a gazillionaire. You are going to build a house under the Miami-Dade building code, period. Why? Because it's based upon safety measures. You just found out that the California stuff was all BS. There's nothing to it. It was simply in place to screw people and charge them money. Let me stop here and take a few comments. I don't care about the beef with Steve and Elon. It doesn't matter. Only actions matter. Elon fighting the whole world against the woke virus. I'm going to talk about that beef, but I wanted you to see specifically that this man is out there. And when you think about that, you heard many Democrats out there? I heard Adam Schiff on television today talking about Trump felon. Hey, Adam. Hey, Nancy, you got a whole lot of money. What are you doing? Buying stock and stuff, probably. This is what happens when liberals cave to their nutcases and environmentalists. Yep. Thank you, Barry, for sharing the truth. It's out there. Thank you, but it's out there. The Santa Ana winds happen every single year in Southern California. Fires happen every single year. Preparation failure on an epic scale. Yep, absolutely. Barry, the rabbit hole runs deep. Not only run deep, but wide. They got to be terrified with Trump coming into office. This was the worst possible thing. Let me dig into that in a second. Hold on to that. Conditions allowed to deteriorate for deliberate land grab like Hawaii. Unfortunately, Trump's coming. How many times can they pass the buck? They will start eating themselves. Oh, they're already doing that. They are already doing that. Newsom will have to kiss the ring. Glorious. Yep. MAGA lawyers step up. Yeah. If I'm a lawyer, I'm just licking my chops. I'm like, I am suing everybody. And there's all this video. Yeah, I got hired and I'm going to make sure that we get as many LGBTQs as possible. There's never enough. I'm in charge of the water, and I'm in charge of the water because, of social justice. And I've been looking for pieces. I've been looking for videos where people get on there and go, I'm the best of the best and the best, and I can't wait because I've done so well. So let me just tell you a little bit more about this whole Trump thing. I firmly believe there will be a czar of California who will control the purse strings. And then here's where it's going to get really good. When they apply for this emergency funding, and I'm sure Joe's going to give him $1 gazillion before he leaves office, but it ain't going to be enough. So they're going to have to deal with Trump. They know it's coming. And when Trump appoints the czar of California, the czar of California is going to have access. Count this. When the executive order gets written, it's going to say, we're going to make sure we're going to make California great again. But my czar, who's going to go into California and dig through this, I'd love it if it was Nicole Shanahan. She's going to start digging to see where all the money went. You see, the czar is going to oversee everything. And the people of California will not resist. When the people of California hear that Trump is committing, I don't know, $20 billion to rebuilding, whatever that number is, $200 billion to rebuilding the LA area, with the codicil, with the caveat that he's going to oversee it and he's going to go in and audit everything. You may see people jumping off of the cliffs on the Pacific Coast Highway. You may see people just trying to find a Lear jet and get the hell out of Dodge. Because at that point, you need my money, I want to know where it goes, and I want to know where all the other federal money went. And at that point, that is a large bunch of chess pieces on that table that they're going to move into a checkmate position. Because at that point, if Vivek or Doge gets in there and they start finding out that Gavin did this and Maxine Waters did that and Nancy Pelosi did this, and they start exposing it and having press conferences with charts and going, oh, here $1 billion came in and 700,000 went to Maxine Waters and blah, blah. Get your popcorn. And everyone in California is going to be like, what? You did what? There's one thing rich people like is their money. And their virtue signaling is fine, but it didn't really affect them too much. Even guys like Rob Reiner, hey, I hate Trump. Now you've been taking my money and spending it? It's going to get bad. And now the people in California are beginning to, I don't know if they're questioning yet, but they're starting to listen to other people. This guy here, let me just put this up here. Before I get there, this was amazing. It tells you how the media is trying to lay ground cover right now. Sean Davis, they've gone from blaming climate change and saying it's not the fire's fault to saying water wouldn't have helped to put out a fire to claiming the real problem of the fire is racist. Associated Press, the California wildfires could be leaving deeper inequality in their wake. The Associated Press just said the fires are going to be even more racist. We need to just tear this off like a Band-Aid. I don't care what size scab, it'll heal. Done with this DEI stuff. It is nothing more than an infamia. So I want you to listen to this guy. And Patrick Bet David brought this to my attention. Take 3 minutes and watch Real Jack Hibbs. Jack Hibbs is the founder and president of Real Life Network, senior founding pastor of Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills, nationally syndicated TV and radio host. A supermajority control means 100% of the blame falls on them. The video deserves more views, and we're going to give it to them. Supermajority. Let me tell you what that is first. Supermajority is when the party in power has an overwhelming amount of power where they can't be vetoed, they can't be overridden. They run everything. They have almost, I think it's a 66% voting power, meaning that they almost have like a 2/3 majority. And California has a super majority. Everything done in that state is controlled by the Democrats. There is no way for them to extricate themselves. This is all on them. Empty reservoirs, DEI, it's all on the Democrats. They have nowhere to point. I don't care what Jen Psaki says. She's trying her best. She's been told to get out there. It ain't working.
The absolute exposure of the most incompetent, reserve your applause to the end. Nobody can hide from this. Nobody can hide from it. There's no excuses. This is the most wealthiest state in the 50. We pay the most in taxes, we pay the most in gas, we pay the most in electricity. You name it, if it's in California, we pay the most for it. Why? Why? Because of our government. Why? Because of things that Sacramento does because they can. Our flag of this state is an absolute abject lie. The flag says California Republic. It is not. A republic is where the people decide and the people have their way. What has happened to California? And you prove me wrong. I challenge you today, if you don't like what I'm about to say. California has been under unmitigated Democrat 100% power control. Democrat. Supermajority. What does that mean, supermajority? It means nobody can oppose their decision making. And now you've got it. You've got a situation where a catastrophe came and the billions of dollars that you and I gave was diverted to other woke, stupid Democrat projects.
And so there's more coming in here. But pray for this guy. He's a pastor and he used his pulpit to go after the government. They're probably going to go after him. They're going to probably try to revoke his 501c3 and do anything they can at this point because he's speaking out. He's speaking out to his flock. He's telling his community, this is BS. It's over. And it's going to be contagious. It has to be contagious. There are going to be so many pastors who are going to have newfound people coming in because at this point, the despondent people of California will have nowhere to turn. You know this as a Christian. All the DEI, all the virtue signaling, all of the feel-good stuff about the unicorns, and now there's nothing there. Now people are at their most vulnerable. And where you come in, they're in their most receptive. I saw a video today that just ripped my heart out. This man went back to what was or used to be his house, and as he was walking up the driveway, his dog was under the rubble. And all he had was him and his dog. His dog survived. I mean, I'm looking at my dog here looking like a slub, sitting up like that sleeping. And I'm like, can you imagine? The one thing that you have in life is that unconditional love of an animal going, Dad, what the hell happened? Where'd you go? That man's That man is looking for answers right now, and he's going to get none from his government. None. He doesn't need to be chastised. He doesn't need to be told, you deserve it. You voted for it. You deserve it, which I've seen people say, no, you're reaching this wrong. These are the people that, you know, like this pastor saying, it's time to stand up and get angry. See, that's the people I've told before. I'm like, listen, you know, that Jesus with the money changer. It's time to get flipping angry. You have been wronged. You've been stolen from. You've been promised the goods, and it's not there. The insurance companies left your state because your government it's insane. And so now when I see this man at his pulpit, basically telling the people in his community, here's what's the problem is. I know from sitting in church, you know, I'm sure you sat in church, it's Sunday, and you realize at that point, people are going to be looking around and talking to each other. And I bet you everybody in the pulpit, I mean, in the pews, knows somebody who's been affected. And they've also been people who've had to write big checks, who've been taxed for everything.
That's not hyperbole. It is a fact. You don't like it, change your party. If you don't like it, change different. But I'm telling you right now, I'm upset and I'm angry, and it's the right kind of anger. I'm telling you this right now. When you open up a fire hydrant and nothing comes out, and then Joe Biden says it's because we need electricity. It was turned off for the fire hydrant to turn on. In some cases, that might be true. If the fire hydrants are on top of a mountain, you need a motor to drive the water up. That's extremely rare, and it wasn't the case in these fires. Bad management, horrific politicians who took your money and took trips like Karen Bass, the mayor of LA. She decided to go to Africa the week of the fires to be on a little trip that you paid for. She was really put out when she was told to come home. It didn't look bad. I mean, it didn't look good, that it looked very bad. You've got Gavin Newsom flying down here and then at a command center laughing it up with some people, and it's caught on tape, while he spends 9 point so many millions of probably your dollars to buy himself a new house.
Did you know that? Did you know that Gavin Newsom, I think it was like 2 months ago, spent $9 million on a new house? It's time for people in California to get pitchfork and torches type of angry. Now you're going to want Trump. Now when Trump appoints the czar to California and you start seeing people actually opening the books and showing you information you've never seen, that you've had to take their word for, it is going to make people, it could get dangerous for some politicians. You've stolen from these people. You've literally played with their money in a giant game of Monopoly where you're the house and you just did whatever you felt like it.
It's time to replace the leadership in California. You don't need any more.
And now as you hear these people clap, understand, number one, these are most likely Christians. Number two, they're in California. And you see a congregation that you know, because of where it is, has to have a bunch of Democrats in it. That can't be an overwhelmingly large Republican church. Although probably a lot of liberals aren't Christians, so maybe it is. But nonetheless, there's a whole bunch of people in that church. I mean, here, hold on.
Don't need it.
You can see the picture. A whole lot of people. That's just one side. And they're clapping. We need new leadership. This is where this is going, and you just have to be a little bit of a push to help people along.
Any more examples? These fires could have been stopped.
Instead of this business about Democrats or Republicans, get the information up on the screens. Where can you go in Altadena? Where can you go in Pasadena? Where can you go in Mount?
Now, I played this in my video earlier today. I inserted it, but I wasn't able to talk about it because it was a recorded video. I have to do recorded. By the way, most people who do podcasts, almost everybody, most people don't sit for, I mean, a lot of you do, but a lot of people don't sit for a 2 hour broadcast. So we chop them up and we put them out as individual pieces for 15 or 20 minutes for people who like to have the bite-sized stuff. So sometimes, yes, you will see a segment of our live show put out as a smaller video as well. So this morning, I included this piece of, what's her name? The crazy chick. I forget her name. Maxine Waters. And she's complaining. And what she's complaining about, Chris Cuomo, I believe he lives in New York, so he's not. But those of you who live in California, you need to listen what this nut job says. This nut job is so entrenched in the nut jobbery that they don't even have any other way to get out of it because they know what's coming.
Malibu. Where can you go in the Palisades? Where can you go in San Fernando Valley? They don't know. They're looking for help, and that's what we should be dedicated to.
I agree.
And you too.
We are doing it. We will continue to do it. I think you are right. However, it can also be seen that you don't want to talk about the politics because it's on your party, because the mayor and the governor are Democrats who arguably should have had the people in Altadena better prepared for this.
He's nailing her. Chris Cuomo. I don't know what happened after he stopped drinking the water outside the CNN water cooler, but now he's actually trying to be somewhat of a reporter. And he's like, I don't care what you say, you should have, and he's meaning her, she's a California politician, you should have had this fixed. You should have had this prepared. You know the Santa Ana wins. It's not a new phenomenon. How can you possibly be surprised? And she falls back on the only refrain that Democrats know.
Should have the resources more available so they don't need me to put them up because the state has been doing the work. And that if they've been preparing the situations for wildfires like they were made aware of, instead of cutting deals with PG&E and insurance companies, they would have prepared the state. That is not unfair criticism. Is it too soon? Maybe, but the questions are real.
Let me tell you something. I'm not in the business of protecting anybody. And I think...
Huh? People in California, did you just hear that? Did you just hear one of your elected leaders specifically say on a news broadcast, I ain't here to protect anybody? Oh, really? I'm pretty sure the people who voted for you said this woman is going to act in my best interest and she will work to make sure that we are protected. Whether it be from an enemy, whether it be from newcomers, whether it be from a natural disaster. And she just looked into a camera. I'll rewind it so you can hear it again. Like, Barry, no, you just made that up, right? There's no way she just said that, Barry, did she? Did she just say, I ain't here for none of y'all? I ain't here to protect you? Did she just really just say that? Okay.
That is not unfair criticism. Is it too soon? Maybe, but the questions are real.
Let me tell you something. I'm not in the business of protecting anybody. And
that should be something that is played in California over and over and over. I am not in the business of protecting anybody. Like I said, I wish I was a lawyer. I wish I had a lawyer's office outside of Los Angeles. or wherever her district is, because damn, these people are flailing. And like I said, I insert that earlier today thinking maybe people would see it, but I want, you know how I am. I listen to what people actually say, what comes out of their flipping mouth. And this woman, Maxine Waters, just said she's not in the position, the business of protecting anybody. Now, if you're in California, you might want to you can't get into a car because there's no place to go in the LA area. You can't get around, but you better get ready. You would seriously better get ready to do something about your government, because they don't give a shit about you. You mean absolutely nothing. All you mean is dollars and cents. She's going to tell you that in a second.
I think that my work over the years that I've been involved have been absolutely on point in dealing what has to be dealt with in order to help the people. First thing you got to understand is services cost money. And we should be willing to get the richest people in this country, the richest 1% that is protected, make sure they pay their fair taxes so that we can have the money to provide the services.
So someone in the chat said maybe she was talking about not protecting Bass or Newsom. Maybe she'll have to clarify that. Maybe somebody should get her to clarify that. But I am so sick of this fair share BS. Not a single politician on the left can ever define fair share, because it doesn't exist. Fair share to them means I need more what you got. I need to keep taking what you got. I hope the Czar of California, whoever Trump appoints, gets in there and finds out what Maxine Waters has been doing with money. Has been taking money and doing all kinds of stuff. All they know how to say is, I need more of your money. I need more and more of your money. Christina Crowley, $439,000. Christina Kepner, $265,000. Christine Larson, $400,000. LA Water Chief, $750,000. Seems like you've pulled a bunch of people's money. Seems like that city is able to fork out some huge flipping salaries. $750,000 to manage water. And then $750,000 to fail people. To absolutely fail people. Because it's not about performance. She says it. I took this job because it was about social equity. I'm owed this. This is what I'm supposed to have. We got to right these wrongs. Nothing in what she said in that video was about doing the job with proficiency. And Maxine Waters says, I need more of your money.
With that money and with those resources, the people who have been selected or elected to do the job.
Oh, no, you were right the first time. Oh, that was one hell of a Freudian slip. Did you hear that? Oh, the people who have been elected. Oh, no, you were right. We've said that over and over about California. The people who have been selected
should do the job. I don't care who it is. It could be Democrat, it could be Republican, it could be whatever. But the fact of the matter is, we all should have heavy hearts right now.
What's you better have more than a heavy heart. You better have a good attorney. You better lawyer up. Let me take a second to pay some bills here. Let's see, what do we got? What's this? I don't know. Wait, it didn't work for me. So, whatever. Let me go here. As you know, President Trump has assembled the Avengers to make America great again. And of course, we're all excited and ready to see them get to work. But with everything we're seeing right now, don't take your eye off the ball. Things could get much worse before they get better. With the possibility of World War III still looming, and with the Democrats doing everything they can to impede Trump, you still need to keep your guard up and your money protected. Oh, and our national debt is still massively increasing. Don't get me wrong, I have high hopes for Trump's America, but I also have a family to look out for. You see, Trump and the Avengers have quite the uphill battle ahead. That's why I'm making sure I'm protected, and I'm recommending that you do the same. One way to be protected is by diversifying your portfolio. That's why on this channel I've been happy to partner with Lear Capital. As you know, I've been involved in real estate for quite some time. And although I dabbled in gold and silver, Kevin and his staff at Lear have helped to educate me even further, especially in regards to silver. Give Lear a call today and they'll show you how easy it is to move some of your savings or your retirement account into gold and silver. Gold and silver have been proven to hold value and protect wealth for the long term. Call Lear today at 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com to get your free gold and silver wealth protection guides. There's no obligation, just free information. Many of you have seen my interviews with Lear founder Kevin Demerit, and I can tell you this company is solid and likes to educate their customers. Just so you know, Lear has over 27 years of experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, and over $3 billion in trusted transactions, and is the only company with a 24-hour risk-free purchase. You don't pay unless you're 100% satisfied. So call 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. And when you call, don't forget to ask how you can get up to $15,000 in bonus gold or silver with a qualifying purchase. So if you'd like to take advantage of this opportunity, please call my friends at Lear Capital at 800-601-5430 and tell them Barry sent you. All right, so let me go ahead and take a few comments from you guys. They're saying, what's this say? Where'd that go? They're saying, Charles Lacey says, they're saying that the state is going to take over the property and build it back into Section 8 housing so they can get more federal money. Not from Trump, they're not. So I doubt that would work. Because I caught that. Selected. Yeah, Freudian slip. Plenty of water at the beach. You got to wonder why there wasn't some sort of irrigation to run some sort of water through a filtration so that they could put out fires. Crazy. Maxine Waters, you are a failure. Absolutely. Crap running downhill. Yep, it is. Please, let's see what's going on. I'm originally from California, and since I left in 1997, the population has doubled, especially the deserts just above San Bernardino. Yeah, a lot more people. 73% of the Pacific Palisades people voted for them. Yeah. That's funny. Watts is okay, though. only the big money property areas got toasted. So this next piece here, it basically explains. Let me just make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. So Michael Schellenberger had done some digging, and he found that said had the massive water reservoir been online, it wouldn't have made much difference to LA firefighters, says the media. In fact, it would have made a massive difference, and now they're having whistleblower. A whistleblower has come forward to say that the reservoir should never have been drained in the first place. Massive LA water reservoir unavailable for firefighting should never have been drained. Now they got whistleblowers. This thing is, I'm telling you, it's about to blow up. It's going to be something epic at this point. I don't even know how they get around it. There is no way to get around this stuff. It's going to be massive. So I've been telling you that I feel, I don't have any side information from anybody, but I feel that Trump will assign a California czar, and he's got a perfect person that he could bring in as the California czar, and that would be Devin Nunes. Devin Nunes was on with Maria Bartiromo this morning. Listen to what he has to say.
Going to happen. They're just like they've done for the last 20 years. California's going to run to the federal government, and they're going to ask for money. And I think this time, hopefully, I think President Trump and the Republicans in Congress will say, look, we're just not going to keep doing the same thing again. So California's going to need a lot of money, and I feel bad. I have friends that lost homes. Some of the most wealthy real estate in the planet has burnt to a crisp, has burnt to the ground, and it all should be built back. But it has to be built back when California decides that they're actually going to use the water infrastructure that's been built in the state for the last 100 years. They're going to actually use it and allow the water to flow into places like Los Angeles. They're going to bring the timber industry back so you can actually efficiently go and get the logs and the dead trees and everything out of the forest, and so that you can actually, and then also managing that vegetation growth and building in fire breaks. That's what has to happen. Now, what I'm concerned about is, will these people that lost their home, who have consistently voted for people like Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, before that, who've given money to these radical green causes, who have embraced the Green New Deal, are they going to sing from the same verse that they've been singing from for 30 years? And are they going to tell the people, oh, this is global warming, there's no issue here, this is all about climate change? If the politicians in California say that again, hopefully the voters in California will say, we're not going to take this nonsense anymore. Let's just let the water flow. Let's let the animals back on the land. Let's mow the grass. Let's clean the forest. Let's build proper fire breaks. Let's have green areas. That's how you solve this problem, Maria.
That's how you solve this problem. So Devin Nunes, who was from California, who is now the head of Trump Digital, understands at this point what needs to be done. He just outlined the caveats that I believe California is going to have to follow. They're going to have to do all these things on an ongoing basis under the guise of the Trump administration in order to get the money. And so the people and the libnuts who have tried to save the unicorn and the whales and the trees have to understand, in order for the city and the state to get this money, no one's cutting any checks. That ain't going to happen. So we're going to come in and basically put your entire state in receivership, because now we know your state can't function. You don't have enough of the correct people in place. We're not going to trust you with the country's money. See, this is where it gets different. You can't do it on your own. You need everybody else's money. You need my money. They need your money to fix California. And a good steward, I'll use a Christian term, a good steward is going to say, if I'm going to cut you checks, you have a responsibility to the people who are paying into those checks. And here's what we want. If you don't want it, good luck. Oh, well, Trump's, he's holding California over a barrel. He's doing things that California shouldn't do. You're going to hear it in the media. They are going to scream, because this has got to be the way that you basically destroy DEI, destroy the Green New Scam, destroy it all, and bring these people back to reality. Let everybody know this is a scam. Dig into the books. See where the money went. Who's getting paid? Gavin Newsom's wife. Put some people in jail. Help the people who need help rebuilding. Get the insurance companies back in there. Understand, hey, listen, if we do all this work and clean out the fire breaks and the dead wood and all this stuff, you better get back in there and start insuring these people's homes. You agreeing to that? So, I'm thinking like Trump. If they do this, will you start insuring property again? Yes, we will. All right, so you're going to have insurance. You got to do all this stuff. Don't start with the LGBTQ. Don't start with, any of that stuff. I don't care. Now we're going to do some business. We're going to fix California. And now I feel even more confident that that's going to happen, because the boss is heading out there. You called him out a couple times. Now he's heading out there.
Any other questions? Okay. And I apologize. Tom Manson with CBS News. What, if any, concern is there about animosity from the incoming Trump administration toward California and its efforts to fight this fire? And that's Mayor Bass, that's directly to you.
Actually, I'm not worried about that. I mean, I joined in the invitation to the incoming president to come to Los Angeles. I joined with the supervisor and the governor, spoke directly with the incoming administration yesterday. It was a fine call, so I'm not concerned about that. There are also, as I mentioned before, a number of my former colleagues who are up for confirmation. I feel like I will have good relations there.
Is the incoming president expected to come here?
I believe so. I mean, I certainly, it was a positive response, yes.
Yeah, you know, I will say, knowing what I know, and I represent Altadena, which is probably the most diverse community that in the 5th District, this is the exact constituency that he was talking to. You've got socioeconomics from all walks of life, and they are suffering. So I am confident that this president will come.
Well, my conversation also yesterday was throwing around possible points of timing. No.
Okay. And then...
So Trump is heading to California. If I were him, I wouldn't even go until after the 20th. No need to go right now. You got too much to do. Get ready and then get out there. But the fact that his people have been already talking to the people in LA tells you what Devin Nunes said. They're already putting together a plan. They already know what they're going to do. And so now it's up for these people to get their crap together and get their people in line, which means some of you may want to just go ahead and resign now. Just quit. Just go away, because he's going to take over California. Gavin Newsom, you're not going to have much to say about it. You need the federal government. And I've noticed in a bunch of the chat here, a bunch of you guys are like, hey, listen, what about North Carolina? I'm sure he's going to take care of both of them. All the crap that Dementia Joe has been doing and dragging his butt, it's going to end on January 20th. On January 20th and January 21st, you're going to see people descending on North Carolina and people descending on California. And this is the time where I think people are going to be in California are going to be quite receptive to what's going on, because they can see it. They can see it firsthand at this point. Let me show you somebody who has seen it, and this woman is a staunch Democrat. Maria Shriver. LA cannot go forward with the status quo. LA is no longer what it was. It has to be different. It has to prioritize the safety of its citizens. Police, fire, schools, and LA residents deserve better. Chief Crowley, that's the fire chief, is saying LA cannot sustain itself. If it can't sustain itself, it needs government help. But they're going to have to prove why they can't sustain themselves. It needs more help. Chief Crowley says she rang the bell. The mayoral race presented a clear choice last time around. Moving forward, LA residents have to decide what's important and what's not. Right now, what's most important is getting this fire under control, getting firefighters the support they need, getting our neighbors the support they need. Once that happens, it's time to rethink what is and imagine what can be. That's a white flag. That's a liberal waving a white flag. We're done. It was nice. We played along. We saved the caribou and the unicorns. We looked at the rainbow flags, and we painted the streets, and we had the parades, and we did all the stuff, and we hired the DEI, and we're done. Done. Last line. Once that happens, it's time to rethink what is and imagine what can be at the very bottom. There's no imagining. There's no rethinking. There's only doing. Like the GIF with, I say GIF, some people say GIF, I say GIF. The GIF with Yoda There is no try. It's do. It's time to do in California. There is no more wondering, imagining, and thinking and rethinking. And nope, there's no time. These people have nothing. Even if they have $1 million properties, it's done. It's over. Gavin Newsom just told us that the entire Green New scam was bureaucratic BS. He waived it. And now you've got one of the biggest liberals out there, who happens to be related somewhat to RFK Jr., going, I'm done. I've had enough of this crap. I gave at the office over and over and over and over and over. My entire family gave at the office over and over and over again. You guys have hijacked the Democrat Party. I want nothing to do with this crap anymore. So if she's saying it, knowing her position in the Democrat Party, she may not be a politician, but she's up there. She's up there with the Kennedys. And she's saying, we're done. Take this stuff and shove it. Done. Then you have to know DEI is dead. Liberalism is on life support. Trump has the opportunity to basically punch the ticket on the Democrat Party. Because right now they're waving the white flag. They need help. And ain't nobody else coming. So let me show you this piece with, this is Jillian Michaels from California.
It's absolute madness. And I've seen that clip of that mother, and she says to the governor, will it be different next time? And he says, it has to be. Next time? This just happened 4 months ago. All of northern Malibu just burned down 4 months ago. It happened in 2018 when I lost my house. And not only was it not different, PG&E, who was responsible for the fire that burned down my house with equipment that was over 100 years old, was not only not held accountable, he completely let them off the hook, and they weren't forced to update the infrastructure. The fire hydrants are broken. The reservoirs ran dry. Well, guess what? In 2014, Californians voted on Proposition 1 to put billions toward building new reservoirs. Not one is complete 10 years later. Let's talk about forestry. I grew up in California. There were regular, controlled burns.
Now as Jillian Michaels is saying all this, she's recalling history. And by the way, Jillian Michaels, who may be getting to, I guess, lean right, understands she's under that, that rainbow. Her husband, which is her wife, or whatever you want to say, she's one of them. And she's like, I've had it. Just like Adam Carolla, Mel Gibson, his house burnt down. That wasn't a conspiracy theory, Jen Psaki. These people have had it, and they're prominent, and they got money. And money has friends. And they've had it. They've heard all the excuses.
You would get notices from the city that you had to do brush cleanup and your home was going to be inspected. This all stopped before Newsom, to be fair. But if we're going to, I'm going to go full-blown devil's advocate on you. California is prone to fire. Bad Santa Ana winds. We know this. Let's go with global warming. Perfect. Since you know the place is a tinderbox, why are you not doing the work?
Prepare.
My God.
It's arid. It's dry.
Do control burns.
Winds. Exactly.
The anger in your voice is visceral, it's palpable. How widespread, because I think there's still the shock and the grieving going on. How widespread is the anger at this point already?
I'm seeing many of my peers speaking out. You're seeing Dr. Drew Pinsky rage on Dave Rubin. You're seeing Adam Carolla go crazy. Whitney Cummings is furious. She just posted something on X, and she was like, I was waiting for a fact check, and it has to do with the fact that California donated fire equipment to Ukraine in 20.
Did you know that? They are so over the top with DEI. They're so underfunded. They're so understaffed. Remember, she's like, I can't get enough. I need as many lesbians as I possibly can. I can't find enough. But somehow you found the equipment to donate to Ukraine, while your people have no houses. Had enough yet? Think you need a change?
22. And I'm sorry, you have to laugh because it's so absolutely maddening. How is this possible? In addition, you've got the governor who just cut $17 million from the fire department. Now, in all fairness...
The mayor, right?
I'm sorry. Yes, I apologize. The mayor. And in all fairness, it's like an $800 million budget, but it's one you need to be increasing, not decreasing. And when you've lost tens of billions of dollars towards the homelessness crisis that you can't account for, and homelessness has gone up 30% in California since you began losing these billions of dollars, maybe, knowing that the state burns down every frickin' year, you could have put some of that money towards infrastructure.
I've heard people try to...
It's funny, looking at the chat, people are like, why didn't you speak up before? I don't know. I can't answer why these people haven't spoken up. The whole time they were so worried about Trump. They're all on X and Twitter and talking about, oh, Trump or Orange Man bad, blah, 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 blah. It's been kind of quiet. I don't know if you've been on X. I posted something the other day. I'm like, hey, y'all seeing all the lib nuts screaming about this? Oh, no? You know, supposedly Joe got 80 million votes. Kamala got 60, 70, whatever million votes. You don't see a lot of people backing up Newsom and Karen Bass. It's like they all just decided, oh, man, what the hell? Oh, this sucks. Yeah. All these celebrities. Barbara Streisand. Paris Hilton lost her house. And I'm not talking about them financially. I'm talking about them ideologically. And this was what you supported. I hate Trump. Orange man bad. Oh my God, my house is gone.
fact check this fact about the $18 million fire department budget decrease, because more money is coming in next year's budget. And I just wanted to point this out because the LA fire chief wrote that there was $7 million that was cut from the budget that came out of overtime, which was earmarked for training, fire prevention, and other key functions. And the fire chief wrote about a month ago, the reduction has severely limited the department's capacity to prepare for, train for, and respond to large-scale emergencies, including wildfires. Even today, people who somehow prop up Gavin Newsom and prop up Karen Bass are trying to defend them when all of Pacific Palisades has been wiped off the face of the earth.
I would give it to you if it was the first time. This is not new news. It is every single year, over and over and over again. How many people have to die? How many homes need to be lost? We haven't even gotten into where's the water? Do we want to?
So many questions, so little time. How could you be you're getting paid $750,000 a year. $750,000 a year. And there's no water. Like I said, I believe a lot of this is intentional. Not intentional in terms of making, these people should lose their homes. Intentional in terms of hiring people who are completely out of their league. These people have no idea what they're doing. They were just at desks to cash checks, to fill boxes, to let everybody know 60% of our employees are, DEI hires. And now you're seeing that the DEI, they can't do anything. I will just remember what the fire chief said. Hey, how many's enough? There's never enough. Never going to be enough, is what she said. And right now, I gotta believe there are people in California going, yeah, I've had enough. You had enough, that's it. No more of them. Wait, they had to get firefighters from Mexico. There are firefighters from a third world country, basically, helping to fight the fires in California.
That conversation? Why don't we start with, 80% of the water in California is going to big ag, one family in particular that's so powerful, I'm damn near afraid to mention their name on camera, but they control a huge...
I'll say it. Resnick. If you didn't know this, this will piss you off. And you don't even live in California, unless you do. If you do live in California, it should piss you off even more. How does one family own most of the water in California? How would you possibly let that happen? Like, Barry, what are you talking about? What do you mean, own the water? Yes, one family in California owns 70% of the water in the entire freaking state. Can you imagine? I mean, I do business with Lear Capital. We talk about gold and we talk about silver, which you should be getting. And I think, maybe 20 years ago, the Hunt family tried to corner the silver market. And you saw the movie with Trading Places when the Duke brothers tried to corner the orange juice market. Well, these friggin' people cornered the water market. California is so inept that they let one family acquire, I don't know how you acquire, 70% of the water in California. So powerful, she was almost, I think she was, she never says it. She's afraid to mention their names.
Huge majority of the state's water, and they happen to be top contributors, previously to Dianne Feinstein, now to Gavin Newsom. The water is going to big ag. They have 2% of the state's GDP, 80% of their water. Or if you want to look at the environmental impact on a small fish where we're siphoning off water.
Yeah. Y'all didn't know that, did you? See, that doesn't make it on Jen Psaki's show. It doesn't make it on MSNBC, CNN, or ABC that someone owns the freaking water in California. I know there's probably some of you going, pull your hair out and go, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, dig into that. I'll even tell you, I'm going to show you. I don't care. I can mention her name. I don't live in California, so they can't do nothing to me. They are so powerful. Jillian Michaels, a multimillionaire living in California, couldn't name this family who owns the friggin' water.
The Pacific, listen, I get it. I understand you want to protect the environment, but how's the environment now when you just killed, I don't know how many coyotes, how many mountain lions, you have baby deer running in flames down the road. How about, really? Or how about when all of this runs off into the Pacific? Is that good for the environment? None of this makes any sense. None of it.
When we bought Fiji water.
All right, so this is the family who owns the water.
People weren't worried about traveling over the ocean and, wasting fuel and blah, blah, blah. Later, it became very important, and people used bottled water as the poster child for, the new green movement. Whatever, whether you agree with that or you don't agree with that. But the fact that this water isn't available anywhere else on the planet was a good thing to fall back on. Because you can't find water this old that has been safe from the pollutants in the air and the ground like Fiji water.
There's guys lighting fire.
Her family bought the water. And I know there's a bunch of you sitting back going, what? What do you mean? Yep, they own the water. I think it's like 70% of the water in the whole freaking state. 70% is owned by one family. If I were Trump, I'd go and go, that ain't happening. You ain't owning a natural resource. How did you ever let that happen, California? How did you let these people corner the market on your water? The water that comes from God. It wasn't, you don't manufacture water. The water came from God somewhere, and it flowed down mountains and streams and rivers, and they own it. People had enough, man. This is David Spade, comedian and actor. He's had enough.
There's out there make this shit worse. They just caught somebody, we're pretty sure was lighting fires, walking on with a blowtorch,
and let them go. So if you can find someone lighting a fire and you catch somebody and you get the cops to bust them and throw them in jail, I'll give you $5,000. So keep your eyes peeled and do what you can out there. Don't fake it though. No staging. Let me know.
And to finish it.
Now you got actors, people with money, putting out bounties. It truly is turning into Mad Max out there. It is turning out to Mad Max Thunderdome. Hey man, I'll give you $5,000 if you find these people who are starting fires. Don't try to fake me out, I'll know. But if you find these people, I'll give you $5,000. What? Oh, Trump's got to get in there quick. This is going to turn into Mad Max very quickly. You are going to see people taking matters into their own hands very, very soon. I'm sure he's not the only one. I'm sure there's other people with lots of money who are like, hey, if you see someone come up the street and they come to my property, oh no, take them out. Oh, this is going to get... Whew. Bounties? We have actors paying bounties? I'm pretty sure when you get to the stage of paying bounties, the people in California have had enough. They're no longer counting on the government. Do what you need to do. I got $5,000 for you. Every single time you find one of these people starting fires, let me know. It's getting bad. Now, the clown prince of ESPN, he chimes in.
Touch for me was California, because I have to go out to LA a lot, and I am a fan of, I should say, listen, I like Gavin Newsom, the governor of Florida, from the standpoint as a person. Like, in other words,
that's a rare comment said in this room.
Hey, Steve, yeah. Ron DeSantis is the governor of Florida. Just wanted to let you know.
A nice person to talk to, because I've had conversations with him in the past. Highly intelligent individual, looks very sharp and very presidential in those suits. And then you see what's going on in California, you're like, nah, that's not me. These high taxes, the homelessness, the crime rate, etc. I'm looking at all of this unfolding because you have to remember I've been going back and forth to LA and New York a lot, pretty much since 2003. And so I see that, and I see the regression that has taken place. And so when people are going off, particularly folks on the left, and they're talking about these policies and what policies are better and what's not, and then I see folks on the right talking about real life issues and stuff like that, I'm like, I hate to admit it, they make a lot of sense. They make a lot of sense because I'm here, I'm pulling up to the gas station, the price of gas. I go to the supermarket for myself. I'm not one of those dudes that just send people to go. I go. Yeah. I know what the price of milk is. I know what the price of eggs are. I know these things. Yeah. I pump my own gas unless my guy is with me, my security. I pump my own gas. I see the prices of this stuff. I'm like, what the hell is this? And so I look at things from that standpoint, and when you hear people talking about practical things, and then I saw folks on the left basically trying to guilt me into voting for you. It bothered me. I might have ended up voting for Kamala Harris because I didn't like how Trump acts. But what I didn't do was call him a racist. I didn't call him a Nazi. I knew Trump before he ran for president. Yeah. We talked on the phone. We talk at basketball games or boxing events. I knew this man. And so some of the things that were being said about him, I knew were not true. And I was saying, come on, y'all, you got to do better than that. And I look at all of those things, and all of those things contributed to my ultimate move to Florida, because I said it's time to think about me more and stop being guilted into looking at things through their lens. And that's where I'm at.
Where you're at is you might as well just come clean and tell everybody you voted for Trump. I've said it for months. I've said this guy will say one thing on television, but he voted for Trump. I'm telling you, he voted for Trump. The man moved out of New York City, or wherever he was when he was up there in ESPN, and he moved here to DeSantisville. He moved to Florida. He As I said at the beginning of this video, like a lot of these so-called liberals, when you dig deep, they're actually conservatives. Why did you move to South Florida, Steve? Oh, because you didn't want to pay taxes. It's safer. You see, they lie on television because they have to virtue signal. But behind closed doors, they got their accountants, he got his security, which I'm sure is armed, which I'm sure has a gun. Because you ain't walking into Publix, you're not walking up to 7-Eleven and pumping your gas without your boy with you. So I know he's got a gun. So you come down here and you're like, wow, there's no state income tax? Nope. And if I buy this house and homestead it, they can never take it from me as long as, it's bought in Florida? Yep. They ain't taking your house. No matter what happens, if I get sued, they can't take my house? Nope. So I can put as much money into this property as I want? Yup. And I can buy a big old boat, maybe a yacht, and I can write all that off and park it right outside of my house, right in the backyard? Yup. So I can be right with the rich and famous and down here with Brady and Gloria Estefan and everybody? Yup. And I ain't got to deal with this crap in California? But I'm voting for Kamala Harris. You believe that? You believe that? You see, one of the things I've always believed is that it's easy to be a public-facing liberal, but I know you're a behind-closed-door conservative. Will Smith, you ain't making 20, 30, 40, $50 million a picture and then giving Gavin Newsom half or 70% of that money. Ain't gonna happen. They're all full of crap. And now they have a reason to pull the veil off. Gavin Newsom, you messed up. Now these people don't want to have nothing to do with you. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Stephen A is an opportunist. Nothing wrong with that, but shouldn't be mistaken for anything else. Yep. Stephen A. Smith voted for Trump. You got it. Notice he said, I was supposed to vote for, oops, sorry. Hold on. Kamala Harris. Midas, come here. My dog's barking. Okay. Creepy pimp, don't California. Don't bring it here. See, that's one of the other things, too. I'm glad you brought that up. Let me do this because he's about to bark. And so I'm going to play... let me play the Lear commercial again, but I'll cut it as soon as I get back. I just got to get rid of him. As you know, President Trump has assembled the Avengers to make America great again. And of course, we're all excited and ready to see them get to work. But with everything we're seeing right now, don't take your eye off the ball. Things could get much worse before they get better. With the possibility of World War III. Okay, I hope they don't get mad at me. I had to abort that real quick, but I had to let Midas out. So anyway, behind closed doors, I've known for quite some time because I've known some athletes. I've known some black athletes who have been down here, and I know what they say. I know what they do. I know what how they think and how they feel and everything about it. The dog is a co-host. Yes, he lays there until somebody knocks on the door. California, our transplants from Oregon 30 years ago, tree huggers. Let's see what else we got. You guys have looked up Resnick. Yeah, you cannot believe it, can you? You can't believe that Resnick owns the water in California. That is inconceivable. That would make me move right there. You're telling me somebody owns the water? The water that falls out the sky, runs down a mountain, into streams, and somebody owns that? Packed my stuff right then and there. All right, so you guys have been here almost 2 hours. Let me get to the final story. Mr. Bannon. I mentioned this a couple times, and then, I was wondering, should I stay away from it? Because there are some people who are Trump fans who are Bannon fans. And what I'm going to say is probably going to tick some of you off. So if you don't want to hear this about Bannon, maybe now might be the time to go watch the football game. Because I'm thinking something very, very nefarious. I think that there are some people who are MAGA who aren't prepared, who aren't understanding, who aren't willing to know what MAGA really means. You see, I think they had this thought that MAGA meant a certain thing, and they didn't realize what Trump was really saying. You see, MAGA to Trump is make America great again. Wasn't make Republicans great again. Wasn't about making a certain ethnic group great again. It's about making America great again. And I'm pretty sure from what I've seen, Trump has decided, in order to make America great again, I want to make this tent, and I've said this before, as big as possible. Irrespective of color, sexual identity, religious identity, I want you all under the tent of Americans. And I think some people had the thought plan that their America wasn't the same, or they thought it would be the same as what Trump thought America was. Now, last week I had somebody on, Lee Tickton, who is a friend of Trump's back in high school. And he told me what kind of guy Trump was. And I listened to what he said, because I'm a big listener. And I realized way back, Trump was about making this country better. Country for Americans. People who wanted to ascribe to the American dream, ideology. And I think somewhere along the line over the last, I don't know, couple years, some people thought that the MAGA was this. And I think they were disjointed. And I think what they're seeing right now is that Trump is doing something they didn't think was going to happen. I don't have the answer. I don't know exactly what has happened. It's pretty interesting. As I was looking at the poll, many of you don't know what I'm talking about. Well, you do know. You see, you've seen over the last year that Trump has brought in Vivek Ramaswamy, Alina Habba, Elon Musk, a bunch of people who may not have been the box of MAGA that people thought they were. RFK Jr., Nicole Shanahan. These are people that don't fit the description of what many people thought MAGA was going to be. Not understanding that Trump was like, I want a big ass tent, and I want as many people under this tent as possible who want to see the country grow. And I think at one point feel that Steve Bannon was a part of this, and there's a reason why he got bounced out of the White House. Don't know the reason, but there's a reason he got bounced out of the White House. And he stayed a Trump supporter, and he wanted Trump's ear, and Trump talked to him, and he went on stage at many events. And then when he saw what Trump was doing, it broke him. It completely broke him because he realized his box of MAGA isn't Trump's box of MAGA. So an article came out in Breitbart. Let me see, wrong link here. And the article says, Steve Bannon, and this is on Breitbart, I will do, and even mentioning this today, some people were like, he didn't say it. He didn't say it. Unless I see a videotape, he didn't say it. No, he said it. Quote, I will do anything to keep Elon Musk out of the White House. Now, some people had said to me, Because Steve's entitled to his opinion, which he absolutely is. Steve Bannon, just like you, just like me, we are all entitled to our opinion. But what he just said isn't an opinion. You are not entitled to your actions. I will do anything to keep Elon Musk out of the White House. So when you read that quote, I will do anything to keep Elon Musk out of the White House, you have to accept, you have no choice, you have to accept that he no longer feels that Donald Trump is doing the right thing. Whether he thinks Donald Trump is making a mistake, whether he thinks Donald Trump is stupid, whether he thinks Donald Trump is misguided, you cannot possibly say, I will do anything to keep Elon Musk out of the White House if you believe that Donald Trump is doing the right thing. I have told people on X, hey, listen, I am a Trump supporter. I've dedicated a lot of my time to supporting Donald Trump. I voted for him. I've been there the entire time. It is a ride or die moment. I am not saying that, as one guy said to me, which I had to call him a liar, I did not say that God anointed him. I did not say that God has put him in the White House. What I said was, I support him, and I voted for him, and I trust him. I did not vote for Steve Bannon. Well, Barry, we didn't vote for Elon Musk either. Yes, you did. See, I think that's where the problem is. Yes, you friggin' did. When Trump brought him on stage, which is a part of my intro, and he said, this is my team. These are the people I'm bringing together for MAGA. Here's Robert. Here's Vivek. Here's JD. Here's Tulsi. Here's RFK Jr. I don't know if I said that twice. And here's Elon Musk. He said, this is my coalition. These are the Avengers. These are the people I'm going to bring to make America great again. So understand, most assuredly, he didn't surprise you. He said, I'm bringing these people to work with me to make America great again. And if you voted for Donald Trump, you most assuredly voted for Elon Musk to be a part of it. So when I read this, and it says, I will do anything to keep Elon Musk out of the White House, you are now an enemy. Steve Bannon, you're on the other side. You're done. As I posted, like Paulie and Goodfellas, now I got to turn my back on you. And I got to turn my back on anybody who subscribes or ascribes to this kind of mentality. You can have an opinion. You can have a bad opinion. You may not like it. But you're not taking an actual action and saying, I will do anything, meaning taking an action to keep this man out of the White House. You crossed the line, bro. Bridge too far. You're done. You're dead to me. You just told me that the man I'm voting for, who told us for months what he was going to do, you are now an adversary. Like I said, this might piss some people off. If you got to go, you got to go. Because if you're on the side of what Steve Bannon just said, that is not an opinion. Let's look at more of what he actually said. Former Breitbart News Executive Chairman Steve Bannon, quote, has declared war on Elon Musk, vowing to have the tech billionaire kicked out of the White House by the time Donald Trump is inaugurated. You got 8 days, bro. This is a quote, as if he has this power, I will have Elon Musk run out of here by Inauguration Day, Bannon told the Italian daily Corriere della Sera this week. He will not have a blue pass to the White House. He will not have full access to the White House. He will be like any other person. He's a truly evil guy, a very bad guy. I made it my personal thing to take this guy down. Before, because he put money in, I was prepared to tolerate it. I'm not prepared to tolerate it anymore. Point of order. Who the F are you? I didn't see Trump embracing you on stage and said, "This is my team." Who the F are you? You are now an adversary. You just threatened the Trump team. And anybody who follows Steve Bannon at this point, understand what you're aligning with. It's not an opinion. At the heart of the recent clash between Musk and Bannon is the immigration question, and specifically the H-1B visas for skilled immigrants working in specialty occupations. Down here, another quote. The thing of the H-1Bs, it's about the entire immigration system is gained by the tech overlords. They use it to their advantage. The people are furious. No, the people you talk to are furious. Noting that 76% of engineers working in Silicon Valley are non-Americans. Now, I don't have a problem if that was his statement. Hey, I don't agree with these H-1B visas. We need to have a higher discussion on this. We need to see if Trump's got any leeway here. Oh, Trump came out and said, attacking the rest of Trump's team. Peter Thiel, David Sachs, Elon Musk are all white South Africans. He should go back to South Africa. You lost me right there forever, bro. When you start telling people they need to go back where they came from, you know what that sounds like, right? I'm a black guy. I'm going to tell you what that sounds like when someone tells you you need to go back where you came from. Bad choice of words, because now you've exposed yourself. And if you align yourself with Steve Bannon, understand what he just said. You need to go back where you came from. Again, who the F are you? Why do we have South Africans, the most racist people on earth, white South Africans? We have them making any comments at all on what goes on in the United States. We have been fighting this fight for 10 years. We're going to expose the entire corruption of the American system. We? Who's we? How money controls everything, and hopefully will inspire you in Italy to wake up too, he told the journalist. Elon just had a huge defeat here in America, Bannon argued, on the question of H-1B visas. I don't know about... He went out of his way to mock our movement as racist and retards, and he lost, which is a complete, utter lie. We blew him out of the water. He won't fight. He's got the maturity of a little boy. Musk has had tremendous loss of credibility here in the United States, and quite frankly, the people around Trump are tired of it. Really? Really? You see, if you basically are listening to what Steve Bannon says, you've got what's defined as cognitive dissonance. You see, cognitive dissonance is a psychological state that occurs when someone has conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes, or when their action doesn't align with their beliefs. And what that means is, I support Trump. But how do I support Trump if he's for H-1B visas and if my boy Steve Bannon is against him? So right now, I got some cognitive dissonance. you got a problem. You got a problem with Trump, not Elon. You have a problem specifically with the man you voted for, and now you've got some severe cognitive dissonance. Because now you can't do both. I believe Steve, and I'm for this. So you want to overthrow the government? Because that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. He goes, let me go down here further and bring this up for you. Bannon then went on to accuse Musk of being self-serving, insisting that his sole objective is to become a trillionaire. He will do anything to make sure that any one of his companies is protected or has a better deal or he makes more money. His aggregation of wealth, and then through wealth, power, that's what he's focused on. Bannon said that Musk's economic support of Trump has been a positive thing, adding that he should do the same for any of the different populist movements in Europe. So you're going to tell someone how they should spend their money. Let me ask you, have you bought these Starlinks and shipped it out to Los Angeles? I'm just wondering. You know, since you can tell people what they should do with their money, how about people tell you what you should do with your money? What's not positive is when all of a sudden he tries to put his half-baked ideas, which are really about the implementation of techno-feudalism on a global scale. I don't support it and will fight it. And you can go back to the top where he actually says, I will do anything to keep Elon Musk out of the White House. So as of right now, Steve Bannon, you are now a security risk. You have threatened Elon Musk. I will do anything to keep him out of the White House. I don't have time for this shit. I don't have time for... Trump gets inaugurated in 8 days, and this guy is out here telling the world how he's going to stop what Trump wants to do. You might as well just be a Democrat. You might as well just get aligned with Adam Schiff and the rest of them. You said you want to stop this before the inauguration. Hey, let me just show it to you again. Where is it? Where does he say, where is before the immigration? I might have just rolled past it. Oh, right there. I will have Elon Musk run out of here by inauguration day. So you got 8 days, bro. It's on you. And if you're following Steve Bannon, you don't like what I just said, it's on you too. Because the guy I voted for said, these are my people. And as far as I know, when I looked around the stage, Steve Bannon wasn't on it. So what say you? Bannon is a plant. I don't know. We don't have the time for this stuff from Bannon completely. He spent too much time in solitary. No civil war, no underground movement. Yep, we don't have time. He's already in the White House. That's true too. I'm so glad I'm blessed with discernment. I'm an ex-war room posse. Who does he think he is? I don't know. I've used Bannon's videos. I've talked about Bannon. I was a strong Bannon proponent. I'm like, now you just went too far, bro. Now you've become an adversary. And whatever inroads you had with Trump, you've burned. You've completely burned it. You are toxic. No one's going to want to be around you. Maybe it's to build up his podcast with nuts. Because there's a lot of them out there. I saw some of the tweets. Go ahead. Bannon has lost his mind. I guess. Bannon is spreading supremacy against people, and it's a security threat and to the American people. Bingo. Go back where you came from. That's not something you should be saying publicly to any demographic. That is highly insulting. Go back where you came from. I am truly taken aback. Who just flipped his... I don't know. Steve Bannon is threatening Elon. Is that a crime? I'm as stunned as some of you guys are. Somebody bought Bannon, I think. I Don't know. I don't know what Elon did to piss him off so bad. Maybe they can go have a drink somewhere, but you have a superiority complex. You think that somehow you are going to do whatever you can. I will do anything to keep him out of the White House. Wow. Yeah, I stand with Trump. Yeah, exactly. I stand with Trump. Bannon is now banned. And the thing is, I'm not asking you or telling you or to do anything. I'm just giving you information, and you can read it yourself. There was some lady, like I said, on X. I don't believe it. I don't believe he said it. Well, I just showed you. You can go back to the source article as well. I mean, they mentioned the source article in here. It says here he told the Italian press where is it? And there was a link to it. Here it is. He told the Italian Daily Press, and there it is. There's the full article. Steve Bannon, Elon Musk, voila sola a soldi. They don't have a translation button, but yeah, there's the actual article. So it's right there. If I knew how to speak Italian, I would actually, maybe it'll let me change this to English. No, I don't know. I don't speak Italian. Servizi. Nope. I was trying to find like a translator page, but anyway, it's there. He said it. It's true. It's crazy. All right. Elon is standing strong because of what happened. Yeah. All right, so it looks like my stream restarted. Are you guys still live? Is the video still live? Hold on. Am I talking to anybody? Hold on, let me just check. It looks like the stream restarted. This is very weird. Let me skip this. Am I still live? Yeah, I guess I'm still live. That's really weird. Really weird. It says it restarted. In any event, in case something happened, let me get going. Why the Italian press? Don't go overseas and bitch. Yeah, that's where he went. Thank you for your service, Steve. You're fired. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Apparently he didn't learn anything in prison. I don't know. Like I said, I just wanted to give you the information. You guys can do whatever you want with it, but now I got to turn my back on Steve. Sorry. All right, guys, in closing here, let me go ahead and invite you to join us at our X group, private free X group. Go to fanfareshop.org, and there's 13,000 fellow patriots. 13,000. So go ahead and join us over there. And if you'd like to register to win a hoodie, go ahead and go to fanfareshop.org and sign up to win a free hoodie, which we are going to give away right now. So let me go ahead and do that hoodie thing here. That was weird. It looks like it restarted. Maybe we lost the stream for a second. But anyway. All right. Here we go. Let me get this page up. Okay. Now I got to find a drum roll. And where's the drum roll? Okay. Here we go. Drum roll. And the first winner is Terry Mayfield. Terry Mayfield, you've won a free hoodie. Let me go ahead and pick another one. And go ahead and this. Drum roll. Rodney Scoggins. Rodney Scoggins, you have won a free hoodie. And then let's go ahead and do one more. And we'll hit the drum roll. And that would be Gina Johnson. Gina Johnson. So, I wanted to let you guys know, if you win a hoodie, what the process is Ashley tomorrow will download like the winners over the weekend. She'll send you an email, ask you what size, your mailing address, and that kind of stuff. If you don't respond to that email, then it's kind of hard to send you your stuff. So we need you to respond accordingly. Let's see here. Let me look at some, if there are any super chats, and acknowledge those before we get out of here. I am not a huge fan of Elon. However, I trust Trump. Exactly. See, that's an opinion. You have an opinion. You don't trust. You're not a huge fan, but you're not out there trying to take him out of whatever Trump has in store for him. From Ryan again, Steve Bannon has officially gone off the rails. Yeah, he has. So Barry says, yes, there was a reset both on X and YouTube. It's still running though, so it's kind of weird. Marcus Anderson, did you see Trump put in that garbage truck? Dump them all out. Beverly Litton, Bannon is giving the opposition talking points. He'll sabotage Trump's goals for America. We can't let that happen. Hey, Tommy. Bannon, who the hell are you? Typical jealousy playbook. Sorry, but it's true. I thought this might happen with Bannon. He's jealous and it's petty. It's very petty. We have a chance to do some fantastic things, and you can't have this kind of stuff. Greatest ever. Who the F is Steve Bannon? That's a big question. Scott Voigt, thank you. Cajun Scully, I wonder if Newsom has fire insurance. I bet he does. I'm sure he does. Stephen Anderson, MAGA like Scott Presser, saving America, everyone. Yep, Scott Presser does some great work. Jan, thank you very much. Tommy Radcliffe, Newsom is handsome, intelligent, likable. Yeah, so is Satan. Stephen A. DEI stuff is stupid. Born in California, raised in Tahoe. That lake is our water once it's down. I don't know how they bought the water. I'm going to have to do some research and find out how someone bought the water in California. Ernest Walker, heck with Bannon, I'm with Trump and Elon, MAGA, make America great and for everyone. Yes, that's what I believe. Let's see here. Fernando Cardenas. I love those come to Jesus moments. There will be a lot more to come. Great show, Barry. Thank you very much. Claire Butterfield, California is going down. I haven't checked. Obviously, I've been on here, so I don't know what the status, but I heard the Santa Ana winds are kicking back up again. Cassandra Paquin, Fine Arts. Barry, look up Sam Byler. Delivered $3 million in tiny homes in Western North Carolina. Interview him for another view on what he's seen with this team. Sam Byler. Let me go ahead and mark that down. Hopefully, I can get a hold of him besides on Facebook, because I'm still persona non grata over there. What do we got here? Maria, thank you for your service, but I have a question. How does being a member of the Coast Guard qualify you for running a multi-million-dollar water system for one of the largest cities? I don't even know what her position was in the Coast Guard. But, it's great because, she was able to do some social justice where she is. She makes what, $750,000? Yeah, $750,000. Olivia Gorial, federal ban of body armor by convention felon. I don't know what that is. Corrine Drake, thank you. Firefighter that looks like me. Hell no, I need one that looks like Henry Cavill, and that's from my husband. Greatest ever. Do you think California will turn red? Maybe Los Angeles, but not the whole state. Y'all's thoughts on this? I've heard from some people that if it was an honest, true election, it would probably already be red. But we shall see. Brenda Ross, God bless and thank you, Barry, for everything you're doing for us. We appreciate you. Thank you. Gray Man says, if California remains a sanctuary state, give them no federal funds. Yeah. I'd be down with that. Yeah, you get no money. No money. We should be able to put the criteria on what we want to see happen there. Arizona Guy 1, I stopped going to California years ago because of their uber leftist policies. Thank you, Arizona Guy. Eric West, Barry shouldn't have beat his head against the wall day after day to get the truth out and available to truth-loving people. Thank you. I mean, a lot of people, I just try to give people information and they can do what they want. Sunflower Heart, thank you for showing us the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. And this whole Bannon thing, I mean, he came out and said it. Snap it or scrap it, can you not use water from the ocean to put out fires? The ocean, as you know, is heavily salinated would be the word. Lots of salt, and it's toxic and it's corrosive, but possibly you should put it through a filter first before they use it. I'm sure there's some smart enough engineers that can do some sort of irrigation system to make it work. But then again, I think I would have taken some corrosive, toxic, salt water, and if it meant my stuff didn't all burn down. Trisha Whistler, look up Smart LA. Yep, I've heard about that too, that they're trying to do that whole 15-minute city crap. But now he's like, no, you can rebuild. KAF, they are saying the arsonists are MAGA. Yeah, right. Maria, Chief Crowley gave equipment to Ukraine despite a $17 million budget cut. People affected by the fires needs to ask for proof of her ringing the bell. A lot of questions need to be answered. Mr. Mike, Barry, you are awesome. I love how you speak your mind and the truth. Thank you. God bless you and your family, and God bless you as well. Donna, how are you, Donna? In Asheville, 3 months, I finally got the tree out of my kitchen. 230 plus dead, 100 sheds donated yesterday. Hands, foot warmers donated. Bad snowstorm, 19 inches. Still 0 from FEMA. Yeah, if Jen Psaki really wanted to, see what people were going through, she could actually talk to people on the ground up there. It wouldn't have been that hard. I'm sure they would have talked. Liar. KAF, thank you again. Sandra J.G. Thompson, you mean the Emperor has no clothes? Oh yeah, he's being exposed. Beverly Litton, how about North Carolina? Yep, I'm very confident that Trump will help the people in North Carolina. Again, that's about building that tent. Pray for the people of California. Yeah, that's one thing we definitely have to do, Arizona guy, is do that. Eric West, hello, how are you? Thank you. Maria, the DEI female firefighter insinuated in the commercial you showed that she would let someone burn who criticized her because her feelings were hurt by... I don't know if she said she'd let him burn, but she goes, I can't help you. If your husband's stuck, Larry Elder should be the California czar. Good call. Good. Oh, that would be awesome. I mean, good call. Beverly Litton, too many are still drinking at the trough of anti-Trump leftist Kool-Aid. They're going to have to wake up here, logic or not. Trump told Newsom 6 years ago not to dump the water into the Pacific Ocean just for fish we don't eat. He sure did. Benedetto Salerno, Trump told Newsom, yep, it's on tape too. It's on tape. Where he told him don't do that crazy stuff, but he kept doing it anyway. He didn't care for some reason. Tommy Radcliffe, the fires seem unnatural. 32 years in California. Fires, these are not normal. I've been through 12 bigger but not Hollywood homes. Weird. You know what's really weird? When you look at some of the videos, like the one at the beginning of today's show, where the lady, all the grass was still green. House was burnt, the grass was green. Explain that. Elizabeth, smelt fish are used as bait in many states. What's so special about California smelt? Couldn't tell you. Transporting fish is easy. Other states could repopulate California smelt. I don't even know what a smelt is, but then again, let me go here. Let me make sure. That was Tommy. Let me click this button. Why is she getting paid $750,000? That's a good question. A reporter should ask. Why are all of them getting paid that kind of money? They fly that flag in California, less than 1% of the population. Why not a Christian flag or a Jewish flag? Good God, Newsom, leave, period, just get out. You're right. John Parr, I have lost all hope on the California voters. Karen Bass may be the next governor, or Kamala. Are they that far into the communists? Tommy Ratcliffe. I wrote a song called Had Enough. I left Cali to survive. I thought this might be coming. I'm living in Switchblade City. All the girls are surely. That sounds like a Guns N' Roses song. Let's go hog wild. While world is mocking them, Samaritan Purse, 8 Days of Hope, otherwise disaster relief organizations are being hands and feet of Jesus who are providing food. Yep. Samaritan's Purse is doing God's work for sure. Sue Rabini, we need to reach out to those that have been in darkness and pull them into the light. One nation under God. Now is the best time. For sure. Now is the best time. And so I think, let me see what here. Let me go back to the beginning. I don't want to miss anybody here. Okay. Okay, Fume Drummer. The stream froze for a minute, then picked up again. This was all during the Steve Bannon part. Wonder if YouTube got pissed off. Debbie Gandy, he went to jail. He's hurt because not Avenger. Never. Neo MJ. Thanks, Barry and Fanfare team, for all you do. Great live cast. Everyone keep praying. Christ is listening. Thank you very much. Tommy Radcliffe. B. Can't get verified for your email. Don't know why. You mean for the hoodie email? Hit me up on Twitter. I'll help you out. Alexia Carrasquilla, whatever happened with Bongino. He hasn't announced the Secret Service guy yet. I am pulling for Dan Bongino because he's the #1 podcaster out there besides Rogan. And if he's gone, it's going to give us some ability to capture some audience. Plus, he's a good guy. Bannon is a megalomaniac, says Harold. Yeah, absolutely. Joy Kirkland. Hey, Joy. Yeah, Newsom has insurance. It's called Aunt Nancy. Bad. I live in North California, know about the Resnicks. They're a big supporter of Newsom. They bought ownership up to 90% of Cali Water. I'm looking forward. Someone's going to have to tell me how you can buy water. Tim Reed says the lifeguards out there make $125,000 a year. Good Lord. And Tim, thank you from Stacy Lane. Wow. $125,000 as a lifeguard? Damn. Well, all right, everybody. Thank you very much. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And then 7 o'clock, I've got an interview with Ryan Matta. And he's going to be talking about a lot of stuff in terms of the missing kids. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock.